Maybe this whole Corona thing is one of the reasons why you're not so in favor of my God. This week I want to speak to those of you who aren't so sure about the whole Christianity thing. Maybe you're not in the exact same spiritual place as I am, and maybe there are a bunch of good reasons for that. I should introduce myself. My name is Mike. I'm a Christian, I'm a pastor, I'm a speaker for a media ministry, and I am really into God. I think about God all the time. I read the Bible every single day. I talk to God. I seek God. I sacrifice for God. I give for God. I give up things for God. I trust God. Like He is the center of my universe. And if you're not there, maybe one of the reasons is because how can there be a God that's that good if the world can be this bad? It's a fair question. If there is a God who knows everything, like Corona, and who has power over everything, including Corona, and He loves everyone, including everyone who's been infected by Corona, how can that logically work? If He knows about it, but He can't stop it, that would make sense. If He knows about it and can stop it, but doesn't love us, well, that would make sense. If He loves us and could stop it, but didn't know about it, that would make sense. But how do you put together these three things that God knew, and God could have stopped it, and God says He loves the world? That logically doesn't make sense. It's one of the biggest objections that many modern people have to the faith that I believe in. Why do bad things happen to good people? How can there be such a good God in such a broken world? And it didn't start with Corona, but it's resurfaced those old objections and feelings. And this week I want to talk to you about that. If you're a person who's not so sure of the Christian faith, or maybe you know and love or related to someone who feels that way, I want to talk to you, how can there be a God like that in a world like this? I should let you know that if that's you, you are far from the first one. In fact, there's actually a special name for this. It's called Theodicy. There's a $10 word for your day. Theo in Greek means God, like theology or theocracy. And the disi comes from a Greek word decay, which means justice. So how can there be a God of justice, a God who's good, a God who does what's always right in a world where so much has gone wrong? Well, let me give you up front my basic answer to that question, an answer that we're going to unpack in the days to come. I would bet that you're okay if someone knows and controls and loves as long as there is a good purpose to a painful situation. I bet that you believe in, you even trust people who allow painful situations, maybe they even cause them, as long as at the end of the day, there's a purpose. Here's why I'm making that assumption. Because some of you go to the gym. In fact, you pay gym memberships. Maybe you pay a personal trainer. Why? To make you sweat, to make your body burn, to make your muscles ache, to wake up the next morning and not being able to move your arms. Why are you okay with that pain? Well, because there's a purpose. Or think about some of you parents who bring your kids to get their shots. Why do you schedule those injections? Why do you let some stranger grab a sharp object and stab your own children? You pay for that. You have insurance to cover it. Well, because there's a purpose. In the long run, it's good for your kids. Or think about pregnancy itself. I mean, every desirable parent, they know what's going to happen during labor. And not just for a few seconds or minutes, but hours, maybe even a whole day, they're going to feel pain like they've never felt before. And yet there are people who try to get pregnant. Why? Because there's a purpose. So if you're okay with pain at the gym, or in the doctor's office, or the delivery room, because there's some great purpose, what if the same thing is true with God? What if there's a God who absolutely knows about this pain and controls it, and yet He still loves us because at the end of the day, there's a purpose? That is what I want to explore with you this week. In Romans chapter 8, which was written in the first century by a guy who knew all about pain, the Apostle Paul, a very famous Christian, wrote these words. He says, "We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him." In all things. In a corona thing, God is working for the good. And that's what I want to explore with you this week, especially for those of you who don't yet share my faith. Now, I should tell you up front, there are some pastors and preachers out there who assume they know exactly why this is all happening. I'm not one of them. God hasn't whispered any secret knowledge to me about why this happened in America or in that country at this time and place. I'm not going to guess about that. What I'm going to do is to explore 4 reasons, biblical reasons, generally why pain might happen to us. Let me tell you up front what they are. That without pain, like we're experiencing right now, you and I might use God, confuse God, reduce God, or lose God. But if God does allow pain into our life, we might appreciate God, understand God, glorify God, and find God. I hope you come back this week. I can't wait to explain those answers to you as we open up the Bible and find out why a good, knowing, powerful God allows bad things to happen, even to good people. Can't wait to see you this week, and have an amazing day. So, where have you seen that to be true? In the comment section below, I would love for you to share a story of where you saw a difficult, painful time actually have a really glorious, good, and worthwhile purpose. Let's remind ourselves that pain is worth it if it has a point. Thanks for considering it. Thanks for leaving a comment, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. If these messages are a blessing to you and your faith, and you want more, we'd love to make it easy for you. You can just click this button right here to get connection to a YouTube subscription, or if you want these devotions right into your inbox, you can click right here. YouTube here, email here. Email here, YouTube there. Click both these buttons. We'll give you as much Jesus as we can because we know that Jesus is all that we need.